Keys trembling in my hand, I stood at the threshold of my new apartment. Years spent white-knuckling my marriage had left me broken and exhausted, zapped of whatever fight I thought would get us through it. I couldn't believe it had come to this. My perfect, sparkling marriage of 7 years had fallen apart. I had lost myself, and the dreams to which I had clung so tightly had slipped entirely through my fingers. I was miserable. My kids were miserable. And although my husband Charlie insisted that he was happy and wanted to try to fix our broken marriage, I could see that he was miserable too. There were many culprits in the demise of our marriage. There was the postpartum depression that never seemed to fully let go, even years after the kids were no longer babies. There was Charlie's Crohn's disease, a debilitating illness that had robbed him of his dignity and bodily autonomy. There was his dependence on the medications that kept the worst of his symptoms at bay, but that also made him irritable, narcoleptic, and depressed. We argued over money. We argued over the kids. We argued over the unfair division of labor and my resentment over being the default parent, the default household manager, the default wiper of butts and maker of meals. We argued about sex. Charlie wondered why we didn't do it as much as we used to, and I wondered where in the hell I was supposed to find my sex drive when I was drowning in a sea of chores and kids and struggling to invigorate my burgeoning business that was in its infancy and needed my constant attention. Maybe it was buried somewhere in the mountain of dirty laundry piling up in our closet. Maybe if he would do a load of it himself, he would find my sex drive tucked away in there like money hidden among the pages of a long-forgotten book. But he wouldn't do that, so there it stayed. These things take a toll, even in the strongest relationships. Gradually, I watched the resentment build and our perfect marriage begin to crumble. We went through years of struggle and trauma and attempts to mend things that were far too broken. I was exhausted and just so damn angry. There was never any physical damage, but the mental, emotional, and spiritual damage that I'd sustained in that marriage had taken a significant toll on me. And to be honest, I think that's all I want to say about that. Some things are just too hard to revisit, even after years of healing.